In today's video, I'll be talking about creating a vision for your life, which is so important because it gives you a sense of direction, meaning, and purpose in your day-to-day. I'll be going a little bit into what your desires are, and from there, figuring out your vision and figuring out practical ways to then create your vision and make it a reality. So, what do you desire? Desires come from our heart and our soul, and they serve us on our life's journey to truly experience joy. And they point us in the direction of our progression to create a beautiful life. And what a beautiful life is to me might be different than what a beautiful life is to you. And it's important to connect to your desire. And so when we connect to what we really desire and we connect to our heart and soul and spend time and energy imagining the unfolding of that desire, you start to create your vision. And in my experience, a vision is crucial to help us grow, evolve, and expand. If we move through life without a vision, we have a tendency to get stagnant, remain aimless, or maybe distracted. So think about a day that you have nothing to do, no goal, no responsibility, and let's say you're not on vacation. Now, while those days can be relaxing, usually we spend a lot more time on our phone, scrolling, binging TV, doing things that don't feel nourishing. It can feel like a waste of time. And again, there is a place to not have anything to do, but every day, it's not usually really great or healthy for us mentally. And so thinking about this in the scope of our year, the same's true. If we don't set any goals, aspirations, or visions, we don't give ourselves the necessary structure to grow. In other words, a vision guides us to create a mental and energetic scaffolding. So think about the nature of scaffolding. It's a temporary structure that allows someone to build higher until support is no longer necessary to the structure and it can stand on its own. And this idea is why a lot of therapy, coaching, and mentorship is really helpful. It builds us that scaffolding so then we can grow on our own. So I want you to think about starting with defining your vision. What do you want to achieve or create in your life? Take some time here to dream big and think beyond the current circumstance. If you could create your dream life, what would it look like? How would you wake up? What's the first thing you would do after waking up? Write down your perfect day. To help create your vision, you can also begin exploring your specific passions and values. So our passions, interests, and values are the elements that make our vision. And so the vision that you outline really needs to bring you joy. It needs to bring you a sense of joy if you are living it. By reflecting on what your passions, interests, and values are, you can gain insight into what aspects need to be included in your vision to actually be able to bring you joy and to feel like you're in alignment. Here are some questions to help you. What are you passionate about now? What did you love doing as a child? What are your core values? What do you find stimulating, rewarding, and exciting? Think about all your interests and write them down. Once you have some of these questions outlined, you can start building your vision in more detail and start setting goals and priorities. So the goals and priorities is where I think your vision breaks down into more planning, action, and discipline. Setting clear goals that align with our vision creates momentum and energy. And we really need to capture that momentum to be able to create. This is what drives manifestation. One thing I always say is vision without discipline is a fantasy. And discipline without a vision lacks imagination and doesn't always lead us to a higher path. Ask yourself, what steps are required for you to achieve your vision? I think it's really beneficial to write down our goals, breaking them into actionable steps. And I also love the idea of creating a vision board to help anchor your ideal. Something happens when we create this and keep it somewhere where we can see. It brings to attention what we're trying to create in our life. And so when we're working to build our vision, you want something tangible to be a reminder to what you're working towards. Because when we're creating a soul-aligned, heart-centered vision for our life, we are going to experience obstacles. So these obstacles and challenges are often always laid out in our way of our higher potential because they'll serve as either a distraction or character building, where when we overcome them, we gain some virtue as a result. So think about all the obstacles as resistance. And it's really part of the process. And what I've noticed is the bigger the dream, the greater the resistance. And we need to be prepared to overcome all the resistance that comes up, as well as other challenges and obstacles. If you're looking at it this way, then you'll realize resistance, even though it comes in many forms like procrastination, distraction, self-doubt, and fear, is actually telling you you're going the right direction. So resistance can be a good thing, but don't let it stop you. So really fast, I want to discuss some strategies for overcoming the resistance. Remembering that the bigger the dream, the more the resistance. So first, it's that awareness that if you're working towards a goal that you want that's clearly on your vision board, say you want to own your own business and you're putting energy towards creating your business, then expect the resistance to come in and take a note of what that narrative is telling you. I've created some videos already that give you a little bit more in-depth look at overcoming these resistances, linked right here. So you can look at that definitely, but for the sake of this video, being aware that resistance is going to come in and having that awareness into what the narrative is telling you. Now, resistance always uses the same narratives for everyone pretty much, that you're not good enough, it's already been done, it's not going to be successful, it costs too much money. It's going to tell you not to continue. But remember, if you're locked in to a desire that's coming from your heart and your soul, continue pushing through. When I hit this block, I have mentors that allow me to see it for a block. I also have strategies that allow me to connect in. So meditation, connecting to my higher self, doing something that is allowing me to really connect to my higher purpose and my higher drive allows me to, again, turn down the volume on the resistance and get me recommitted, reconnected to what it is that I'm trying to create. So the video that I mentioned earlier, recognizing the narrative of what your resistance is telling you, having a mentor or coach or someone on the outside who knows what you're seeking to do and can give you feedback and to help support you. And then meditating, being able to really connect into your higher self and your heart. These all really help you build the strength and the courage and the resiliency to overcoming the self-doubt, the fear, and the setbacks that will come when you're on a soul-aligned path, when you're going into the direction of your highest vision. It's really important when you figure out what your vision is to take action. And again, like I said, reflecting on your passions, values, and setting clear goals aligned with your vision, writing it down, having it tangible, will help remind you to go forward on your journey. And it's okay to evolve and refine it over time. For me, there was a point a couple years ago where I was doing a spiritual study and I had to write my grandest vision. And I thought this was the vision for my life, or at least the next 10 years. I realized that that grand vision, once I said it, it only took about a year and a half to really accomplish it. So as you move forward, your vision is going to get bigger. So what's your vision? And think about all the details. What does it feel like? What does it smell like? What does it look like? Imagine what you're wearing, what you're talking about, and to who you're talking to it with. What trips you want to take, what you want to feel. It's so important to be specific, writing it down, drawing it out, making that vision board. Remember, as you set that goal, resistance will continue to come up. And when it does, that's when it's really, really important to push past that struggle point. So if you've ever maybe given birth, or you know someone that has given birth, there tends to be a point, a threshold where the woman thinks she can't do it. And it's right at that point that different doctors, nurses, and midwives say that's when they know the baby's actually coming, because they want to turn around. And so if you can build the courage to just push past that struggle point, you can manifest all the desires. You can have the romantic partner who has the same values. You can have the business that allows you the freedom of money and flexibility to give back to your family and to charities around the world. You can set up your perfect life if you are turning down the voice of your ego and you're connecting into your heart and soul. Remember, the more you think about it in the positive direction, so not thinking about what you don't want, thinking about what you want, and you put your energy and your emotion into it, so feeling a sense of eagerness, urgency, passion, being able to use that emotional energy with your vision allows for manifestation to happen even faster. What I want you to do after this video is to really put your action to this. Think about that vision and then start to make a plan. Recognizing that, in my experience, a plan gives some structure, but it can't be so rigid that it doesn't allow things to unfold. A plan needs a little flexibility, so new information, or what I'd say is more magic, to come in and allow that plan to unfold in the way that it needs to. So have an idea about what you want, but be a little loose on how it happens, because you might set out and you might get that spark of inspiration and think, this is where I'm headed. And then things start to unfold and it's even better than you imagined. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you found it valuable, please subscribe. I'd love to be able to put more videos out there to help you embody and be inspired, mind, body, and soul. Thank you.